Hello and welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, a show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today and the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. That's a funny way to say that. We got a lot to get to on the show today, including the upcoming Mississippi High School State Championship preview down at The Rock at Southern Miss this weekend. Got 7 fantastic games to go over. But, Dad, I want to start. This is our first show since the Egg Bowl last week on Friday. Ole Miss ended up winning by multiple scores, but it was a little bit closer game than I think either one of us thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss won by 2 touchdowns and State covered the spread by 2 touchdowns, which sort of tells you where the two programs are right now.
Yeah, but, I mean, the big takeaway, I think, I guess Mississippi State finishes this season with 2 wins, which is objectively not good. But I think in this game, you saw, as with some other games earlier in the year, State is not that far behind.
No, especially in the age of the portal. I mean, if they can get better at the positions they need to really quickly if they find the money and spend it wisely.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about those positions they need to get better at. I thought they played pretty well Friday, all things considered.
They played pretty well against a good team. I thought it was defensively one of their best games. I mean, I think that's where they need to get.
Well, statistically, it was definitely one of their best games.
Yeah, well, I think that's where they need to show the most improvement.
You mean where they should spend the most money?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got some players to build around the safety who's up for the.
Yeah, Isaac Smith. He's a good player.
Isaac Smith's a good player. The linebacker from MRA is a good player.
Yeah,
he was all over the field Friday.
It was like that the whole second half of the season. He's a fantastic player.
I still think the bigger takeaway is, if Ole Miss was looking for style points to impress the playoff committee, I'm not sure they got them.
Yeah, I don't know that there was any. I don't think even winning the game 50-0 would have done them any good. I just don't think they, like we were talking about on the show, they're in a situation where they couldn't really improve their standing. They could only really hurt it, and they needed some other teams to lose around them. And we saw some of that happen. But, I mean, we're recording this on Tuesday morning. The rankings come out tonight. So, I don't think they did enough, and I don't foresee them being.
No, they're right on the cutting point, though. I mean, they're either the way it looks to me, they're either the last team in or the first team out.
Right. I just don't think there's anything that can happen this conference championship weekend that would vault them or
it's hard
move
to
them down.
see.
Yeah,
it's hard to see it happening.
But all that aside, they've had a really fun year, and a lot to be proud of. I know there's going to be a lot of looking back and thinking, what if?
All 3 of the losses are what ifs.
I know. There's lots to look back at, but I will say it was. And it wouldn't have mattered whether it was, just for the record, or whether it was State or whoever, to have a Mississippi team be in the mix in the first year of this playoff pretty much all season, it made it a lot more fun and interesting for me, and I'm a big proponent of this system that we've gone to.
Absolutely. The 12, we knew that going in, that it was going to be a lot better, but the deal is that you have to ask yourself, you spent so much money in the portal on this team. Reports are anywhere from $12 to $20 million on this team. And you had an incredible senior class. And now you got to almost do it all over again.
Well, yeah, but it's always been like that, right?
No, not really. But we're playing a different game now with the NIL and the portal. And there was a huge investment made, a lot of talent put together, and it's going to come up just short, it looks like to me.
Yeah, but I would think it would be more of incentive to do it again. To be in the hunt like this,
yeah.
I don't know. I would think that feeling would be something that you might chase. Trying to get it again. So we'll wait to see what happens with the Rebels in the postseason. Headed down, switching gears a little bit, but staying in college football. Dad, let's talk about what's going on in Hattiesburg. It appears that Southern Miss is going to hire a coach imminently.
Oh, yeah, I think Charles Huff is the next coach at Southern Miss, the Marshall head coach.
Tell me about him.
Well, he's been really successful at Marshall. They won their division and they played for their conference championship Saturday night at Lafayette, Louisiana, and that's the reason why he hadn't already been named the head coach at Southern Miss. But every sign points to him being the guy. I mean, if it wasn't him, they would have already named a coach.
Well, I'm sure they're just glad to have somebody locked in if that's the case. What do you think about, is this a lateral move for him, or is this, I mean, it seems odd to be going from a team in the Sun Belt who's playing for the championship to a team that finished with one win in the same conference.
From all I know about him, he's a very ambitious guy. He wants to prove himself. I think he probably thinks he's done what he can do at Marshall. Here's the deal. This is a guy he's from the Nick Saban tree. He worked for Saban at Alabama. Hell, he worked at Mississippi State. His wife was once a basketball coach at Mississippi Valley State. He also worked for James Franklin at Penn State, recruited Saquon Barkley, coached him. He's real close to him. I mean, he's got a pedigree, and he's won. He beat Notre Dame at Marshall, okay?
Yeah, I'm real happy. I mean, like I said, I think he's a good fit and everything. Like I said, but the question remains: did things sour in Huntington?
Well, he was hired. He was hired during a time when they didn't have a president. They didn't have an athletic director, and then here comes a new athletic director and a new president, and apparently it hadn't been a great relationship.
Yeah. Well, that's what I figured, because on paper it looks like a lateral move. I mean, to people who don't bleed black and gold.
Oh,
if
if you're just looking at it from as an outsider who knows nothing about it, it looks like worse than a lateral move. You're going from a program that's been up to a program that's down.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, he's getting more money to come to Southern Miss. His staff is going to have a bigger salary pool than what he's had. He comes to an area that's a lot more rich in football talent than you look down that Marshall roster and you see where the players are from, and they're from all over the place. It ain't like here at Southern Miss where 70% of your players come from Mississippi.
Yeah, I was about to say, but I'm looking down Southern Miss's roster, and 75% of them are from Mississippi, and I'm looking at I don't know. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. So do you think they'll announce him maybe shortly after the championship game? Or
I think it'll be next week. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think. Now,
right.
Until he shows
speculating.
I know he shows until he shows up behind a microphone
wearing a Southern Miss
wearing
shirt,
a gold tie.
Yeah.
I
got you. Well, quickly before we get to the high school championships, 2 bits of NFL news I wanted to get to. One, we have been singing the praises of Taysom Hill in this space for several weeks now. He's pretty much single-handedly carrying the Saints on Sunday. He got hit with a helmet to the knee and apparently is done for at least this season, and maybe longer. It was about as gruesome a leg injury as you'll see. And, of course, the Saints lost. I would say they're out of it, but everyone else in the division is terrible. The Falcons lost as well.
Yeah, so but the Saints really
had to win that. I mean, that would have been one game back. They lost to the Rams, though.
I didn't think they played that poorly. I thought the Rams
they
just
played
beat
like
them.
Trash, like absolute garbage trash, especially on offense. But, considering they signed 2 wide receivers off the practice squad to start in the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Taysom Hill, who went down in the third quarter, was their leading receiver with 5 catches for 37 yards. They just got no pop whatsoever on offense, and it's been that way their best offensive weapon outside of Kamara is the Valdez-Scantling.
On the bright side, they will be drafting higher because they're not going to win very many games without Taysom.
You watch them. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to steal a couple of these down the stretch and move on down the draft board. And whatever picks they've traded for, I guarantee you they will devalue between now and then as well, because those teams will find a way to win a few more as well. It's just the way it goes with the Saints. Dad, the other news I wanted to talk to you about quickly was NFL announced they had suspended the player who hit Trevor Lawrence on Sunday. His name is Azeez Al-Shaair. Apparently, I had never heard of him, but apparently he's a repeat offender.
He's a dirty player. But
they suspended him, I think, 3 games, which is, I mean, it's longer than Lawrence will be out, hopefully, because he was taken to the hospital and treated for a concussion. There can't be any room for this in the league, right? I mean, this is.
I don't think it's a strong enough suspension. I think they should have suspended him through the end of this season and maybe even a game or two next season. And his salary should be reduced by whatever that percentage is. I mean, I think they got to get that out of the game. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was giving himself up.
Yeah. I mean, he was full into the slide.
And the guy went right at his head.
Yeah.
You got to get that out of the game.
Yeah. I would be on board for like first time offense, 3 games, second time, 6 games, third time, rest of the season, or whatever the equivalent.
He was fine just last week. Right. I mean, this is the 3rd time this season. I don't know how many times in his career, but he's a repeat offender.
We've seen the NFL make an example out of somebody with Vontaze Burfict from the I believe the Bengals for the couple of vicious hits. I mean, they banned him for a year, so maybe if the guy comes back 3 weeks from now and does it again, like, we'll see what they do. But they do. I know they got the players' union to deal with, who will, probably defend him.
I hope the players can look at this and see that it's bad for the game. The union can look at this and say, hey, this is our livelihood. Players like that, players who purposefully try to hurt somebody, they're threatening your livelihood, your ability to make the millions you're making. I think they need to really make a statement with this one.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens. I know they, like I said, 3 games, and they're appealing.
Not enough.
They're going to appeal that suspension, so we'll see how it all shakes out. Dad, I want to move on to a topic that I know that both of us are pretty excited about. It's that time of year again, the Mississippi High School Football Championships. The slate is set for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday down at M.M. Roberts Stadium in Hattiesburg. I'll be glad to run down these games one at a time, but starting Thursday, we got the 3A game and the 7A game. That's Choctaw County and Noxubee County. And then the 7:30 game is Tupelo and Brandon.
Well, let's go by game because I know, and then we'll go to Friday and then Saturday.
Okay, all right, I got you. Well, what I'm looking for in the 3A game Thursday, Choctaw County and Noxubee County, 2 really good offenses. I'm just, going off what I know about them.
2 superstars.
Yeah. Well, the quarterback from Noxubee County is the top-rated senior quarterback in the state of Mississippi, and would be for any class, I think. Camario Taylor, who we saw for the first time
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Same field.
Yeah, threw for like 6 touchdown passes and lost in the state championship games. You can believe it. But they're back, and he's grown exponentially since then. He is your prototypical guy. He's like 6'4" and 235 and can run. Is their leading rusher.
He's grown up since 2 years ago.
He's huge. Yeah. He's been committed to Mississippi State for a very long time, and he is the kind of guy who I think can change their program quickly. I don't know that he will start right away, but I think he could be. I mean, he's the kind of guy who he's built like Dak Prescott, especially like Dak Prescott was when he got to Starkville. So I think he's about as good as you get quarterback-wise in this state. And then on the other side, Choctaw County, you got Caleb Cunningham, who is the top-rated senior wide receiver in Mississippi and one of the top-rated senior wide receivers in the whole country.
He's going to Ole Miss, right?
Well, he recently flipped from Alabama to Ole Miss. And they're pretty good otherwise. I mean, they got a good quarterback, Jackson Hood. And they've had some big wins. You know, they beat defending champ Winona twice by multiple touchdowns. They beat East Webster 41-20 in the semifinals. I think they're a good team. I think they got their work cut out for them in Noxubee County because, you know,
they're always good.
The triangle, man. The triangle. You're playing a team from the triangle, you got to strap your helmet on. The 7A game is Tupelo, as I mentioned, Tupelo, Brandon. Two coaches that I am infinitely familiar with. I mean, I got Ty Harden and Sam Williams are, two of the best young football coaches in Mississippi. And Tupelo has been knocking on the door for a couple of years to get to the state championship game. Brandon busted down that door. They just can't get past the last one. So it will be interesting to see. Tupelo, and they're contrasting styles too, Dad. I mean, Tupelo wants to run the football with the Mr. Football winner, J.J. Hill. They like to get going downhill. If you watch any of the North State Championship against Madison Central, they got better as the game went on. Brandon wants to throw it around. I mean, they've got a killer running back in Tyson Robinson, who's just a sophomore, and their quarterback Sladen Shack, just a sophomore. But they got weapons on the outside. They got, they want to sling it around. They don't mind going wide. It's going to be a contrast. And
yeah, Tupelo. We were talking about earlier. Tupelo wants a 24-20 game, and Brandon wants a 47-42 game.
Brandon would just as soon have a 67-62 game. They don't care. I mean, their defense it has been really, really good at times, but it has turned in some real stinkers this year. I mean, you go back to that Clinton game, and now I say that it was kind of a one-off. I mean, they've gotten better as the year's gone on, but they got their work cut out for them trying to slow down that Tupelo run game, and vice versa on the other side with Sladen Shack.
I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to all 7 games.
I'll tell you this. I know the one you're looking forward to Friday is that 1A game.
I always look forward to
You love the 1A game. This year it is the Baldwin Bearcats and the Simmons Blue Devils. Simmons back in the championship game.
Simmons gets there a lot.
Yeah, they do. And it's like I told somebody I was doing a radio show yesterday, and they were like, well, tell us about this Simmons team. And I'm like, you tell me about this Simmons team. I never know anything about these Simmons teams. This is the way it happens. So all these teams have like numbers out there for their guys and like, rosters and all kind of stuff. You get a roster out of Simmons, you better thank your lucky stars. We don't know anything about them. Nobody ever sees them. They just beat the hell out of everybody. They're 13-0 or whatever it is, and they're coming. They're headed to. They're going down to Hattiesburg to play a Baldwin team that is in like the Daily Journal coverage area. So like we know a lot about Baldwin if you follow high school sports and read the other newspapers like I do. You know about Baldwin. Got no idea about Simmons. I told somebody on a radio show yesterday they'll come down here with some guys we've never heard of. By the end of the week we'll all be talking about them. So excited to see what they bring for sure. Baldwin's a pretty good team, though. You look at the teams that they've beat. They stepped up in competition, beat Kossuth and Boonville. They have big wins. They beat Biggersville like 42-0. Tupelo Christian 63-17. These are teams that usually vie for the North. So excited to see what they can do. And then, Dad, in the 5A game, we've got West Point and Gaucher. West Point, shockingly, is in the state championship game.
Shockingly, meaning it really would be shocking if they weren't.
And they've had a decent season. I'm just looking at it yesterday. They're under a new coach. Brett, one of the Morgan boys, Brett Morgan, is there. They ended up going 10-3 this year, which is kind of a down year for them, but they won the games they needed to win. Their big test, they had 2 big tests in the North. They played a really good Holmes County team in the second round, and that was the game that I thought was kind of the de facto North State championship. But they won that 31-28, and then they beat Cleveland Central 14-7 in the semis. And I really thought that it was Cleveland Central had a really good quarterback named Beeman who, could have single-handedly won a game. So it was kind of to see whether he could do it against West Point, but they held the ball too long, beat them 14-7, and they're going up against a Gaucher team with a good quarterback named Trey Irving, who has played really close games all through the playoffs. They've won, I think, all 3 of their games by a combined 9 points, beating like Natchez and who else? Brookhaven and Wayne County. So, I think it's going to be another good game.
It's hard to bet against West Point.
It's really hard to bet against West Point, but it's also, it'll be quick. That game starts at 7:30 on Friday night, and I bet you could have a story filed by 10:30 if you wanted to. It'll be, and you'll know how it's going relatively early, I expect that to be a pretty low-scoring game despite Gaucher's potent offense. Moving on to Saturday, Dad, the 2A game, Charleston and Heidelberg. Listen to me, Heidelberg. This is a rematch of last year's game, which Charleston won. Was a fantastic football game. You remember it was kind of back and forth, and I'm excited to see the rematch. I think both teams are really good. I hope it's not as high scoring as last year because that kind of got us off track pretty early. And then one that I know won't be high scoring is the 4A game between Louisville and Poplarville.
Yeah, 2 great programs. They're good. They've got a lot of history both places.
For sure. And it didn't work out. Last time they played in the state championship, if you recall, I think that was 2020 at the right down here at the stadium, Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Jackson. Louisville won, scored and went for 2 and won by 1. It was one of those games, and it was really low scoring. Of course, it's a different year. Poplarville, you'll love this. They've got a 1,000-yard back, but they've also got, I want to say it was 4 or 5 that have 400 or more rushing yards. They're like one of those, they run the option. It's
wing T's, right?
Yeah, well, good luck against the Louisville Wildcats running the wing T. It seems like you might need to be a little bit more dynamic, but we'll see.
You got to find that football.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Louisville, they have a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And then the big game, as far as you're concerned, Saturday is the Class 6A championship between the Grenada Chargers and your Fighting Tigers from Hattiesburg High.
Class of 7-0, buddy.
I know you're excited about this, and it's kind of been fun watching you get excited about it.
Well, they're undefeated. And here's the thing, Tyler. Do you know the last time Hattiesburg won a state championship?
I do not.
1924.
1920, so 100 years
ago. They won a state championship. Now, they've won Big 8 championships before there was a state playoff system.
Yeah.
Actually, they beat Louisville in what was an arranged game for the state championship back in 1924.
Will they ride horse and buggies to the game?
Yes. And there was the game was played in Laurel, and one of the star players for Hattiesburg was Gerald G. Walker, who went on to play Major League Baseball for like 15 years. If you want more history,
How
I can
do
give
you know
more
this?
history.
How do you find this stuff?
I've lived it all my life.
You have not lived the 1924 Hattiesburg Louisville game.
No, but I've heard about it, read about it. Yeah, that Hattiesburg team finished 11-0, and that's a great story. But here's the 2 things I'm looking for in that game. I want to see how they try to defend Tristan Keys. The Hattiesburg wide receiver, Tyler's another one like, we've had a few come through Mississippi lately. DK Metcalf,
A.J. Brown.
And he's one of those.
He is good. I know he's rated as like the number 5 player in the entire class for junior year.
He's a junior. He'll be one of the top recruits in the country next year.
Well, we know he's good. I don't think nobody else has had a plan. I don't think they will either. What I worry about with Hattiesburg in this game is that, I don't want to say worried about it, Grenada is really, really good. at running the football.
Well, Michael Fair.
Yeah, I mean he had Lafayette rolling. Now he's got Grenada rolling, and they've got a back named Caleb Taylor who is just as good as anybody I think in the state, and they have been really efficient running the football. Apparently Hattiesburg is going to be without their big defensive lineman, the Otis kid, and another defensive lineman that they're not sure going to play.
That's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they could be. They're going to have some guys step up because the one thing that could kill Hattiesburg, just high flying as that offense is and as fun to watch as it is, the one thing that could kill them is sitting on the sidelines. I mean, if Grenada,
no kidding.
I mean, high school football is 12-minute quarters, buddy. If you run the football effectively,
couple 8-minute drives.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we previously mentioned the West Point Green Wave. I mean, that's what they're going to, that's what they want to do. But we saw Picayune try to control the clock against Hattiesburg, and they still found a way. So, I like their chances. I like your Tigers' chances, but I will say that Grenada is going to be a very tough out, as tough as Picayune or tougher.
Let me tell you that these are two of my favorite high school coaches in Mississippi. I mean, the two guys that don't toot their own horn, that just their teams are always fundamentally good, sound teams, and two coaches that every coach in the state respects these two guys, and it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, big month for Tony Vance. I mean, not only did they're playing for a state championship, but as we had him on the show a couple weeks ago, he's going to coach the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star game after this, so a lot of moving parts there for him, busy month. But, I think it's going to be a good weekend of football down in Hattiesburg. I like almost all these matchups. I don't think there's a mismatch among them. So if we do have a blowout, it would be a surprise to me.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, and where you can find me. I'll be down on the sideline.
You're not going to be in the Ace Cleveland press box?
Well, I'll go up there and have a cup of coffee every once in a while.
Yeah, you might need to. It looks like the weather is kind of testy. I'm excited to get down to Hattiesburg and see some of the folks from the old stomping ground. Jack Duggan up in the in the box, and Shirley Hill will be up there, all the old SID crew from Southern Miss, and maybe get to see Joe Paul. And
yeah, well, here's the deal with me with Hattiesburg High. My dad, your granddad, got his nickname Ace when he played for Hattiesburg High. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a reason why I've been so excited about seeing them. Got a lot of history there.
Yeah, and it's just like the Hattiesburg High you graduated from, isn't it?
No, it's nothing like what I graduated from, but that doesn't change anything for me. They're still purple and gold. They're
That's
not,
right.
I don't care whether they're black and white as long as they're purple and gold.
Yeah. Well, I know everybody down there is excited about it. I'm hoping they can fill in the lower bowl for that game. We'll see. The last one I saw do it was that Brandon Madison Central game down there a couple years ago, and I think that Hattiesburg Grenada game's got a shot if Grenada can bring some folks, and I'm sure they will. And I know Tupelo is going to bring a bunch of people down here, so we ought to have a couple of really good crowds down there.
Looking forward to it.
Me too, buddy. What else is on your radar this week?
That's pretty much it. Be interested to see what the Tuesday night tonight.
Right.
As we're recording this on Tuesday morning, tonight we'll get the playoff rankings, looking at that, and then keeping up with the Southern Miss job and then the high school championship.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll get to play golf again one day.
Yeah. The way I've been playing, I don't care if I never see it again.
I'm ready to give away the clubs as well. That's all the time we got this week. If y'all are traveling this weekend, stay safe, and we'll talk to you on the other side.